Hello everybody, today I'm going to be testing out some buttercream icing patterns and I'm going to be making cream cheese icing, regular buttercream, and I might do the Swiss meringue in another video. So yeah. Here's me copying the video down for the practice sheet, and I use the video as a reference later on in the video. This video is going to mainly be like a voiceover because my dad was in the background doing stuff in the kitchen, which is all good. So yeah, hope you enjoy. I just grabbed out everything I need and I'm going to start with the cream cheese icing because I've actually never made cream cheese icing before, so I'm excited to try it. And I've got a little bit of time before my dad has to start cooking dinner, so we'll get that one done first. I'm really excited to do cream cheese icing because when I've had it on the other cakes, it's been amazing. So I'm excited to make my own. You could say I'm feeling pretty GOUDA about this cream cheese icing.
Get it, GOUDA? The cheese? Cream cheese? No?
Started out by measuring 113 grams of butter, and I'm just going to put it in the microwave to soften. And then 226 grams of cream cheese. Next, as you can obviously see here, I added everything to a bowl and then beat that until it was smooth. Now I'm adding vanilla and a little bit of salt and then beating that together until I'm ready to add the icing sugar. Now here is a bit actually sad. This is the only actual filming of the icing sugar part I got because I ended up pausing the video to get my sister to come help me because you had to add it in increments and I forgot to press play again. I just finished the cream cheese icing and I stopped the icing at 3 cups instead of 4 cups because this one wanted 4, but it was already pretty thick and like I tried a little bit and it's already really sweet, so yeah. Now I'm following the video, getting ready to do my buttercream borders, cutting the piping bag, getting the coupler on, the piping tip I want on, and then putting the icing in. Now here you can enjoy me try to work out why the icing was not coming out. It was literally because the icing was too thick and wasn't warm enough yet, and I was switching the piping tips around like a crazy woman, thinking the piping tip was wrong, but it was literally just because of the temperature. And I did talk to my mum about that, which will be in the reflection, so yeah. Also after this experience I watched some videos on like temperature and what's the best temperature for piping and coating cakes, so there'll be more about that in future videos, and also good tips that I got for future videos and when to use them, so yeah. Here I started the swirl pattern. In like the middle of this one is where the icing had warmed up a bit with my hand, so it became easier throughout the middle, and then the rest of them were quite easy after that. So yeah, and then I also decided after I'd finished to go back up and just do a quick another line on the buttercream border straight part. That wasn't really good in the first try. This video I forgot to do the little straight part on the bottom one, but yeah, here is the final. Then I also had the vanilla cake from the freezer, so I decided to decorate that as well because I had leftover icing. So here's the final. I did some rosettes on top and a buttercream border, and yeah, this is what I did today with the cream cheese icing. Here's to my second cake ever on the series. Hello everyone, it's the next day because I did do the cake a bit late last night, so I finally have got all my feedback and I'm going to share it with you. Hear ye, hear ye! I shall announce the feedback given from the people. This feedback is on the cream cheese icing and also the cake, because there was that vanilla cake that I did in the last video that I was going to bring to my friend's bonfire, but then didn't end up having time to make the chocolate cake, to make like a stack, to make actually something. So I used that one, which you would have seen in my little thing for the icing and testing out design. Okay, so feedback. People commented that the cake was dense and not fluffy like a sponge, but I don't think that it was meant to be a sponge cake recipe, but it wasn't a bad dense, so that's good. Cream cheese icing was sweet for my sister, too sweet for my sister, but she doesn't really like icing in general. I thought the icing was pretty good. My dad, who usually doesn't like cake, thought that the cake and the icing went well together, and he actually enjoyed the icing and enjoyed the dense texture of the over the sponge cake typical texture. My mum says that the cake could use more vanilla, and she also said that the icing's really good. I took it to my friend's house as well, and her family kind of had the same thing. The cake is a bit dense, but not in a bad way, and that the icing was good. I think the icing was really good, and that was the comments. So the cream cheese icing was a win, people. It was a win. I'm going to be rating my own experience with like baking, piping, how messy it was, how tasty it was, with a, drumroll please, whisk system. We're gonna do this on a scale of 1 to 5 whisks. 1 whisk being it was a total flop, it was chaotic, it was messy, it did not taste good. 5 being it was perfect, it was Pinterest worthy, it was cake goddess vibes. And then obviously the numbers in the middle, 3 being like a middle. First rating, drama score. How chaotic was it? How messy was it? I'm gonna give this a 4 on the whisk rating because it wasn't terribly messy. There was some parts where it was like there was obviously icing sugar spilled, and there was icing all on the piping bag, so I was holding it with a towel so I didn't get it all over my hands and all over everywhere else. But I reckon like a 4. It wasn't too chaotic. Next rating, vibe check. Was it giving baking goddess or Pinterest fail? I'm gonna give this another 4. It was like, it tasted good, it came out nice, it was like sturdy on the cake, it looked nice. Next one, spreadability level. That was a hard word to say.
Spreadability.
This is just rating how well it came out the bag, how well it was it sturdy, was it runny, whatever. Cream cheese icing, I'm gonna give it a 3. No, I'm gonna give it a 4. It was like, the main issue was it was really thick when it was first in the piping bag until it like warms up from my hands, and then it became easier. But when it was like thick in the piping bag, it was really hard to pipe out. Like I was using like all my muscles to get it out, and I don't have very many muscles, so yeah. So I'm gonna give it 3. I don't know. After like that part was done, it was like sturdy, and it stayed, and it wasn't runny, and it was fine. So I think maybe a 4. I'm gonna give it a 4. I also talked to my mum about like the thickness thing with the piping bag, and she said maybe next time I could get a little bit of the icing out and put it in the microwave for a little bit, like melt it almost, and then remix it with the other stuff. So I'm not completely melting the whole batch, but it will like make it softer, if that makes sense. And last but not least, finger lick worthiness. Would I eat this out of the bowl? Yes, I would. Probably not much, because I would not be able to eat that much sweet stuff before feeling sick, but I would eat this cream cheese icing out of the bowl. It did meet my expectations of being a really GOUDA recipe. Haha, use the same joke as before. I need to get some new jokes in my mind. But yeah, it was very tasty, and everyone else clearly agreed. Now overall, I'm gonna give this a 4 whisk rating. It was pretty good for my first time, and I found it fun, so yeah. Now, as you all would have noticed, this video is gonna come out before the chocolate cake video. I'm actually about to make the chocolate cake after this. Basically, I just ran out of time in the holidays because I got lots of shifts at my work, which was good because I needed shifts. I got lots of money. But I just didn't have time to like get as much as I thought I was gonna get done on the holidays done. But that's okay. So yesterday I did the icing because it just matched how much time I had, because I only had a little bit of time while people were out of the kitchen in my family. But today I have a longer time, so after this video will be the chocolate cake video, I promise. Good news and bad news. Bad news was not really bad. My sister's cake, I'm probably not gonna bake it by myself. I'm probably gonna bake it with my mum because I haven't had much time to like really get really good at my skills, and I don't want to ruin her cake. But I will make a video on it and I will help my mum with like the decorating and the making. But the good news, I've got a new client. Like a few days after my sister's birthday is my friend's mum's birthday, and she said I could make her cake for her. Anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed this cream cheese video, and be ready in not that long of a time for the chocolate cake video to be out.